And sure enough, yeah, in the middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania, there was this diner. And I think we both got fish, which was really stupid, but it was really good food. It was no joke, very good food. I think the thing I keep harping back to about Brandon, because I could say a lot, is this remarkable sense of earnesty that he had. To go back to another trip of ours, we were kicked out of Canada. We never got in. We got to the border, and it turns out when you show up to the Canadian border in a van full of garbage with $22 to your name between 4 people, they send you home. But that flagged us at the US border coming back. And I don't know if you've ever been a border guard. They're very stone-faced. They're very serious. It's like an encounter with the Terminator. And he was very concerned why we were sent back so quickly. And I remember Brandon leaning forward in the most earnest way and saying, "We are too poor for Canada, sir." And he cracked that veneer like you would not believe. This man was dying. He said, "Come on back in. We don't care how much money you have." But I have just to harp back, I have this pile of things Brandon used to send me, and the one I keep thinking about is it's the stupidest thing. It's a picture on a piece of notebook paper that Brandon had drawn a robot on, and it says, "Hey Tyler, here's a cool robot. I like you, Brandon." And it's only something I could see Brandon doing, and it's just this. I don't know. It's so earnest to me. Brandon's one of the best friends I ever have, and I'm gonna wrap this up, but I just wanted to share that.
Don't be shy, come on up. I'll just say for a moment while we're waiting for someone else while we're all kind of collecting our memories, I love that story about being too poor for Canada. That is by far one of my favorite Brandon anecdotes I've ever heard. And as everyone's been talking, it's just been this flood of memories just coming in of so many things. I think when you guys were in college, you guys were tagging dogs with eyebrows, and I remember he encouraged me to do that. I remember the first time Brandon sent me a Rickroll and was trying to do that. And I remember Brandon always being a leader, and what's so beautiful about hearing all of these memories is it's flooding back to me about how much Brandon meant to me as a friend, and how much he was very much was a leader of his friends, how he encouraged people to live their best life and to be okay with being who they were. I remember Brandon drawing. I remember being in 11th grade at Miss Johnson's class, and I was debating between Matt Polart and Ben who was in the class with me. And I remember Brandon showing me Weasel Wars, that comic he was writing. And I remember just thinking how funny it was. And I would get Brandon to draw the weirdest things for me. And whether it was a robot or it was a genie with a lamp on his head, something really dumb, he would be all for that. And he had such great artistic skills. And I just remember that would always just bring me joy, the things that he would draw. And I always saw so much potential in him, and he saw the potential in us and would really encourage us to live our best life and to just try to explore those things. So please, if you have any more stories like that, things that just really, the way Brandon brought that out of you, please come up, say it. We'd love to hear that, love the experience with each other.
Hi everyone, my name is Matt. I'm Kim's brother. Brandon was my brother-in-law. I've had a lot of emotions going on with this, but I always think of the funniest time I had with Brandon. And for people that don't know me, I try to be a funny guy. The key word is try. Brandon and I both had a love for comic books. I have a very large comic book collection. But we would always talk about Captain America stuff. And I remember when Kim and Brandon were living in Maryland at the time, I ended up going down to their house to make them chicken masala. And it was the one time that Brandon wanted to try to help me learn how to play new video games, because I'm a little older, I like the Nintendo, and that's about as far as I go. Unless you go back, and then I'll go to Atari. It was the only time I ever saw Brandon frustrated because I could not figure out how to punch the buttons properly. And he made it seem as if he was playing against a child. Destroyed. It was great. So he's destroying me. He says, when you're going out to make the chicken, why don't you have a beer, and maybe when you come back you could play a little better. So I had two. The second story that I wanted to share with Brandon, or about Brandon, was I'm a big baseball fan. So when they were living once again in Maryland, they had tickets to a Baltimore Orioles game. And they happened to be playing my favorite team, which is the Oakland Athletics. So I never get to see them, they're West Coast. We go there, we had, as Brandon said, we have horrible seats, but we're going anyway. We ended up getting there, and we happened to run into some other Oakland Athletic fans. We're talking with them, and before you know it, we spent the entire game out by the bullpen, watching the Oakland Athletics pitchers warm up, chatting. I kept saying to him, do you want to go to these seats? And he's like, absolutely not. He's like, they're way up there, and we're right here. You know, Brandon always had that positive outlook. You know, I'll miss it. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Pam's brother, Scott. I haven't seen Pam in 8 years. I don't think I'd even recognize Perry or Sam if I saw you on the street. It was important for me to come here today. I wanted to share an experience I had. On Friday night, I was driving home from Florida with a friend, and we were about a half hour from home. And I had this strangest sensation that someone was in the car with my friend and myself. And I even turned to my friend and I said, "This isn't going to make any sense, but someone's in the car." The next morning, I got a text from Pam saying that Brandon had passed away last night. And I have no doubt that it was Brandon stopping by to say hi to me and to say goodbye. I have no doubt that it was him. And I hadn't seen Brandon since he was like 15. But it was something Brandon would do, you know, just to say hello and to visit, you know, before moving on. And there's someone like Brandon that would bring people together. He'd bring our family together, and just really glad to be here.
Hello, everyone. I'm Brandon's Aunt Stacy, Pam's sister, and when we were younger, I was the single aunt forever. And all my sisters had all these boys, and my brother had the 3 girls, and then finally a boy that was born on my birthday. But, so all the nieces and nephews were like my children. And I wasn't sure if I'd ever, have the opportunity to get married and have a family of my own, which luckily I do. But my favorite story with Brandon is that when Pam was pregnant with Perry and in the hospital giving birth to Perry, I was helping Rudy with Brandon at the house. And Brandon was sitting in his high chair, big smile, always happy. And we were giving him orange slices, and he was sucking all the juice out of the orange and smiling and tossing his head. And he spit it out, and he said, "Stace." And Rudy said, "He called you. He said your name." And I said, no, he didn't. And he tapped on the high chair, and he said, "Stace." And it just was, so sweet. And, my favorite, memories were with all my nieces and nephews, going on trips, coming along to help out, going to the beach, that sort of thing. And, I went into the Air Force, and Brandon was in the Air Force, and, just following, the footsteps. It's really difficult to have him have to, go through that battle. But he was just a sweet and wonderful nephew, and he will surely be missed. Thank you.
Hi, my name is James. I knew Brandon in college, and I am not adventurous. So, making friends with Brandon and Tyler, I got dragged along on more than a few hijinks, and wouldn't exchange any of it for the world. I didn't know Brandon as well as other people in this room, but even years later, the impact he had on me is quite viewable. I remember one time, it was a Saturday morning, and the whole crew was sitting around in the dining hall killing time, and we were all complaining about how nothing was happening. We were all really bored. We all looked at Brandon like expecting some sort of like explosive, like crazy fun, wild thing. Like, come on, like make it fun. Like, what are we gonna do? And he was like, I don't know, guys. Welcome to Saturday. And it was the funniest thing. And like even now, when my friends are complaining about like it's Saturday, what do we want to do? What are we doing? I'm like, I don't know, guys. Welcome to Saturday. And they're like, what are you quoting when you say that? It's like, just sticks with me.
Guys, I just want to also let you all know, it's about 12:50, and then around 1 o'clock, we're going to be heading out to go to the service. And so I just want to keep everybody a time check. So if you want to come up, please come up and say something. And then afterwards, we'll be coming back here because there will be some food as well. And I just want to, and just thinking about that, actually reminded me of Brandon's love for food. I'm not sure if you ever chowed down with Brandon, but he could put down like nobody's business, and it didn't make sense given his size and how much he could actually eat. And not just how much he'd eat, but the variety and the spiciness. And I remember Brandon loving really, really spicy food. I remember when, I think it was probably right when Lily was born, I remember going out, maybe it was Christmas time, and it was Ben and we went to, I think, a Vietnamese restaurant, and it was one of the first times I had, I think it was pho. And I don't know, Kim, I don't know why Lily was there, but I have this distinct memory of Lily being there, or maybe her high chair, or her basket or something. But I just remember just Brandon like encouraging us to like try some different foods out. And he wanted me to try something very, very, very spicy. I think it was pho. And I tried to get the same spice level that Brandon got. And if you know Brandon, he can handle some really, really spicy foods. And all I can remember from that is not really what I ate. I just remember how much it burned going in and how much it burned going out. And what I really remember is Brandon like eating everything and like pretty much licking the bowl clean, and I couldn't do it. I actually stopped eating and had the food, and just put the food in, take out, and I brought it home with me, and I did not eat the rest of it because it was way too spicy. And that's one of the things that always encouraged me now to try new and unique foods is those experiences with Brandon. And so I just also wanted to share that with you guys as well.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kim's sister, Carrie. I'm really enjoying all the past memories of Brandon. Sorry, I wasn't planning on this. When Brandon was sick and we would go see him and visit, I would always ask him, "Hey, Brandon, how are you? You know, do you need anything?" And you know, he wasn't very mobile at the time. No, I'm good. Can I get you anything? Can I get you a glass of water? You know, that's just how Brandon was. He never complained. He was never negative, and I love that about him. And that's just one of the things that will always stick with me. He was such a great guy, and we'll always miss him. And we'll remember him every single day.
Well, I just want to give another story that I remember about Brandon and our sense of adventure. And I remember when we were, I had to have been like 10th or 11th grade, because I know I wasn't 18, because we wanted to go see one of the Matrix movies, and they were rated R, and I'm sorry, Mrs. Otto, but yeah, somehow, I don't know how we got tickets. I don't know if I bought them online and somehow got them, but I know we wanted to go over and see the movie, and we wanted to go see it after school. And Ben, I think you were there. Matt, I think you might have been there. Yeah, he's nodding his head. I think we have some memories of this. So it was before I think all of us had cars, so we must have been like in 10th grade or something like that. And I remember us wanting to go see the movie and trying to figure out how to like safely get to the movie theater right after work, or after school, because we wanted to go right after school. So I remember the high school, if you happen to go to the very like far end of the high school and hop over a fence, you could technically go down this very, very big hill, and it would safely bring you to a road that was not used very much, and we could walk to the movie theater, which was maybe a half a mile from there. And so I remember we were kind of planning this out, like we were just planning a jailbreak, and I remember us like scouting the area out, trying to figure out, okay, how's the best way to get down this big hill, because there's a lot of brush there. And I don't know whose bright idea it was, and I think it might have been mine, that we could sled down with cardboard boxes and we wouldn't like get injured by all the brush. So we did, and as you could expect, it didn't work. And I remember getting just like cut up, and my jeans got ripped, and I got dirt in places I did not know I could get dirt in. And we are just completely just trash looking, and we make it over, though down the hill eventually, with like minor abrasions and cuts, and then we start the trip over to the movie theater. And as we're making our way to the movie theater, we arrive there, and there's this RV. And it was like I think then it was like an RV show or something like that, or maybe it was just free to check out. And we just went inside, and we almost missed the movie because we spent the whole time exploring this RV that I'm pretty sure was for sale. I hope it was for sale, or else we just, kind of confessing to a crime right now. But I remember just going in and just exploring this RV with him. And again, these are the kind of things that I would never have done of myself. I was not a big risk taker. Like, Brandon, you were pretty much a bigger risk taker than I was. Sorry, Mrs. Cohen. But Brandon was always the level-headed one and would always kind of keep us moving forward. And so I just wanted to share that memory with you guys as well. Thank you.
My town. Oh, what is your unwilling?
I think we're open. Anybody else want to come up and say anything else?
Oh, you don't have another oiling.
I'm gonna say something.
Hi, my name is Kate Callahan. I've been a friend of the O'Briens and the Ottos forever. I just want to let all you young guys know where the adventurous thing came from, okay? Pam was a very young mother in her early 30s, gorgeous. I was in my early 30s, also gorgeous. And I went to visit Pam after she had Brandon. I'm pregnant, I'm newly pregnant, I have no idea what's coming. She has this baby, she's cradling this baby, and it's time to breastfeed. This baby went after her breast like nothing I have ever seen. I was like, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna have a baby. At that point in time, I nicknamed Brandon, and I've never called him anything else, the shark. Because I was afraid he was going to do damage to her body. It was so violent. So violent. Now I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But I think Pam still has both breasts. I can't guarantee that because I didn't feel it was necessary or appropriate to ask or look. Needless to say, Brandon was always engaged in what he did. So, hats off to the shark.
Everybody, thank you so much for coming out today and sharing your memories. That story of Brandon, I did not know that story. And I will never forget that. And I'm always going to now remember him as the shark. That's going to be the nickname that will come up to my head. And what makes me feel so good today is just being able to spend this time with you all and to hear these memories. Some stories I know, being too poor for Canada, wasn't there, but I felt like I got to experience that just by listening to what you had to say, Tyler, and stories that, like, again, never there for the breast story, but that's also fun too. But they just make me feel so much more complete and whole in the moment, and that joy is that there's a light there that is just wonderful to experience. And I hope you all can experience that light right now as we take some time to remember our friend and our brother, our family member, husband, and Brandon. And I just want to say to him just how much I love him, how much I miss him, and just. He was one of the best friends a person could ever have, one of the best brothers, relatives, family members, and we're all so very lucky to have him. Thank you guys so much for coming out today, and I just wanted to bless you all today. Thank you.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, just a second.
Hey everybody, my name is Naeem Edwards. I know Brandon primarily through Perry. I tend to get emotional because my mom is an emotional person. I didn't know Brandon that well, but I just, carrying everything today, I wanted to share some words from the great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King from his drum major instinct speech. He ends that speech saying, "If I can help somebody as I pass along, if I can cheer somebody with a word or song, if I can show somebody he's traveling wrong, that my living will not be in vain. If I can do my duty as a Christian ought, if I can bring salvation to a world once wrought, if I can spread the message as the Master taught, then my living will not be in vain." And I just wanted to say, based on all the testimonies and words shared today, Brandon did not live or die in vain.